Hello everybody, Spoon with Nature. I'm Gary, and we're back out in the shop today. It's another cool day, so we're probably just going to do a nice simple project. First video of 2023, and we got to hope that goes better than 2022 did. Had illness, and I had teeth pulled, work schedule, just one thing after the other. So I'm hoping to get out and enjoy nature a lot more this year, and I'm looking forward to it. At least the ability to maybe do something outside more. But we'll see how it goes. What we're doing today, we're making a walnut wood stain. About 4 or 5 years ago, I was in the shop doing a wood project and actually had no stain at all. So I got the idea of using walnuts to make stain. Pretty simple. There's 3 parts to this, and we're going to get into that now. So let's get going. Alright, first up, you need water. How's this? We just need some water. I can't tell you how much. That's all going to vary. The second part, and the most important, would be walnuts. Oops, got a runner. So we're using haul and all. Just going out in the yard. I'm going to say that January is a hard time to go out and source this particular product. It's really hard. By this point, all the hulls had fallen off and deteriorated, and just the nuts. But what we're wanting mainly is that hull and that pulp inside. The nuts, I could care less about at this point. The third thing is, we're going to need a nice kettle that your wife is not going to use anymore, or hasn't used at all. I actually made this one out of the bottom of a Freon jug, and it's come in quite handy. So we'll be using that also. The heat source for this one today is a kerosene heater, because I'm out here in the shop where it's nice and quiet, and a man can be a man. So that's what we're doing now. We'll be heating this up on the kerosene heater and following through this process. So first up, let's put some water in the pot. First thing is, we're going to put our water in. We're about half a gallon right there. The good thing about this is it doesn't have to be hot. This is just such a down and dirty process. We're going to go ahead and put all these walnuts in, because a lot of them have to thaw out. Yeah, that's a nice mess. Alright. So that's what we got right now, a nice little walnut stew. Pick out the leaves. We don't need that. Stems. Like I said, what we're mainly wanting is the hulls right now. So we're going to put this on the fire and let it warm up. It's been about 20 minutes, and you can see from the stick that I'm using, it's starting to pick up the stain pretty good. The big thing, I think, is just letting it sit in that water. It'll seep out just like an English tea. Just gotta let it steep. But so that bag looks like it's gonna be, well, it's gonna be half a gallon of stain here when I'm done. But the longer you let it soak and steep, the darker it's going to be, the more it's going to pull out of the hulls. Once I put these nuts in here, the outside husk broke down once they thawed out, and it just fell apart. I just keep stirring them to keep that stuff moving around, and it's breaking more off the outside of the nut shells. So we're getting pretty close there. That's not bad for 20 minutes. Alright, so we're about 45 minutes into this, and I gotta say, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be dried out, but the water, I mean, it's not steaming, it's not bubbling, it's probably bathwater temp right now, and it's really taking the color out of there. As you can see on that stick here, that's pretty dark, and that's for something that was laying on the ground freezing. Not bad at all. So I think we're about done with this. I mean, it's pretty dark, and it's about where I want it to be. All right, what a fun little project that was, huh? So what I got right now is I'm just letting it sit here, stir it a little bit, just letting it continue to steep in that water and let it cool off. What I'm going to do is put that in a 1 gallon pail. This is just an old drywall joint compound bucket that I kept on hand from a job. They're nice to have around. So I'm just letting that cool off, and then I'll put it in that bucket. Another thing I'll do once I get in that bucket, I'll put just a little bit of bleach in there, a half gallon. I'll put maybe a lid, half a lid in there off the jug. And what that does is it keeps it from growing mold and bacteria. My first project went about 2 weeks. I opened that up and I had mold, green and white mold everywhere, and it had a pretty funky smell. You can't really put that in your house because the wife will get excited. I can attest to that. So what I'm going to do, just put in a little bit of bleach, put it on the shelf. My other sample, 5 years old, and I still use it. I did need some more, so this worked out good for that. You could probably make this with an oil, which is going to make it expensive. Using water, I got probably 2 cents in this. The walnuts I found in the yard. I mean, absolutely very little cost involved in this. The good thing about this is the water. I know with doing woodworking projects, you sand that, and then if you wipe it off the damp cloth, it'll bring that wood grain back up. So if you got like an end of the grain, it'll pop up, and you take the sandpaper, like a 220 whatever, and you knock it down, and it's smooth, smoother than it was before. So the water-based stain, you put that on there, it'll lift that grain up, plus it'll get into that wood. You can sand it down, put a little more. 2 or 3 coats, I mean, just depending on how dark you want to go on this. You can use as much as you want because you have maybe 2 cents involved in half a gallon. That's pretty good cost savings. But we're going to thank Tim Black for this video. Tim, this video is dedicated to you. He was asking me about how to make this walnut stain from a previous video that I did in which I used it. And I told him I would get to it that next weekend, and that's been probably 2 months now. So somebody dropped the ball on that one. I apologize. But thanks, Tim. This is all you. So upcoming projects. I got a shotgun that needs a stock on it, butt stock. I bought it from an uncle. I'm going to call him and find out the story of that shotgun because it's really interesting to look at. And then I have a lever action 38 special tactical. They have a synthetic stock on it. We're going to want to put a walnut stock on it. So a little more woodworking involved, and we're going to do that one. I'm hoping once it warms up, we're going to get out there and do way more kayaking and camping and fishing and survival and just, you know, all around being a man than what I did in 2022. And there's ideas brewing. They're right here. They're all brewing. I got some of them written down. We'll see how that goes. You know what they say, you make your plans and God laughs at you. So, I think that's about it for today. And I'm going to go do something. I'm Gary Spoon with Nature. Thank you for watching.